All right, let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Buddy, wake up and get excited. I don't want to hear excuses. It's a great Wednesday. All right?
Florida shot 46 free throws last night.
Bama started fouling at the end. I mean, thank God, because I had the over, and after the first about 8 minutes of that game, I thought there was absolutely no chance that it was going to hit. But not only did it hit, I mean, they scored, 192 total points, something?
Yeah, 105 to 87.
Isn't it just like scoring 100 points in college basketball is just like a normal thing now? I remember when nobody used to score 100 points.
No defense anymore, I guess.
Well, I think a lot of it is just guys on offense are getting so much better. The games, they try and give them freedom of movement now and all that stuff, but some of these guys offensively are just, their skill set's just wild.
I have some March Madness trivia for you. Old Sister Jean, Loyola, Chicago.
Speaking of 192.
How about this right here? Did you know Babe Ruth drove in 2 runs and tripled for the Boston Red Sox, not the Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, on the same day Sister Jean was born, August 21st, 1919.
Sister Jean, 1919.
So
you were,
old.
She's 1,000
you were just
years
a couple
old.
years past World War I.
Yeah.
God, that is a long
Still
time
out there
ago.
cheering on the
Still out there.
on the Ramblers.
Still out there cheering on Loyola Chicago, which was opened in 1619. Tennessee takes on South Carolina tonight as they continue to try and get that number 1 seed. The Seahawks cut 3-time Pro Bowler Jamal Adams, and Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith is not happy with his old school. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Crane and Company. Now, Tennessee basketball hasn't made an Elite Eight since 2010. That's despite winning more than 25 games, 4 out of the 7 full years, not counting the COVID year, under Coach Rick Barnes. Now, they've consistently fielded one of the toughest teams, but they seem to always hit some sort of rut at some point in the NCAA tournament before the Elite Eight. And that's when they didn't have an elite bucket getter. Now, their losing scores have been 55, 56, 62, and 68, not exactly blowing up the scoreboard. Now, their one high-scoring outlying loss was a 99-94 defeat to Purdue. But this Tennessee team, they feel different. They don't just look like a strong defensive team that has just enough on offense to get by, and they do have a walking bucket and soon-to-be SEC Player of the Year Dalton Knecht now, and his ability won't allow this team to get in the same ruts for as long as we've seen at times that they've been sent home in the tourney. Now, his range is Yellowstone, his aim is Hawkeye, and the Duke can drive and finish better than Vin Diesel in any of the 38 Fast and the Furious movies. At some point are the cops going to catch these guys or what? But the scariest part about this new version of Tennessee is the few times that Dalton hasn't gone off, like we recently saw in a win at Alabama, they are complete enough around him to still get away with it. Now, the common theme you're going to hear as we come down the stretch is that Dalton Knecht is the difference. And that's not wrong. But all the pieces are the reason that Tennessee is in their best position to finally get past the sweetness and into the eliteness, and possibly beyond. Now, some of you will call this a jinx, especially if Cone picks them, because that's the running line on Rick Barnes' tenure. But to be honest, at this point, I don't even think dark magic like that can stop Diet Luka and the boys in orange from reaching the Final Four. It's going to be hard for me not to pick them, David.
To win the whole thing?
To at least make the Final Four. Former Michigan quarterback David Cone, known Tennessee jinx artist as well. And then my brother, former Western State Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crane, interested to hear his thoughts. They got a big one at South Carolina tonight. You win this one, I think you wrap up the SEC regular season title after Alabama lost last night. That would give South Carolina 5 losses. Kentucky, I believe, is already at 5 losses. Now, if Tennessee does go down tonight, there is a scenario where we could have a 5-way tie for the regular season championship in the SEC. But we're going to get into that. When you look at this Tennessee team, all jokes aside, all the Rick Barnes couldn't run it with Kevin Durant. That team was different than this Tennessee team. I look at this Tennessee team, and they seem like the mega ranger of what Rick Barnes has had. Adu down low. You got depth, Meshack, Ziegler. You've got old guards like him and Vescovi, and then Josiah Jordan-James as well, a lefty, and Gainey. I can go down the list. And they just got a little bit of everything. Yep. Plus an elite scorer that can go get it when they have to get it.
And a great combination of youth and age and experience as well. They've won 6 straight. They've won 8 of the past 9. Like you said, they have a huge one tonight on the road at South Carolina. That's a top 20 matchup. And then they're going to finish with Kentucky at home. That's a top 15 matchup as it sits right now. To me, one of the most fun aspects of it is to see Zakai Ziegler healthy again.
Yeah.
He was playing so well before that injury when he went down a year ago. So it's great to see him back. And like we talked about when they were playing on the road at Alabama, Alabama had a great game plan for Dalton Connect. The other guys rallied around. I think Zakai Ziegler had 18 points that game, something like that. So they've proven they can go get buckets even in a tough environment on the road when Dalton Connect is not having his best game. Whether or not I'm going to pick them, I don't know. I want to see how Selection Sunday works out. The fans across the country are already reaching out, begging me not to pick their school. So we'll have to see.
Do it, Dave.
Rocky Top, sure. David Cohn, Twitter, not the pitcher. But Blaine, look, there's nothing that's a sure bet in this era of college basketball, it seems like. But we always talk about the teams that not only survive, but thrive in sudden death, postseason play, are the teams that can win in multiple ways. But you do need to have that guy or those couple of guys that can separate you, when the ball's not falling. Because when you have to win 6 games in a row to win the national championship, what UConn did last year was an anomaly. I just feel like this Tennessee team, even if it's a low-scoring game, Dalton Connect can go on a 15-0 run by himself or a 17-10 run by himself. He's that talented.
Yeah, I do think when it comes to this Tennessee team that's been different in past years is Dalton Connect can be the difference. Guys, a flamethrower can get hot at any point in any game. But still, there's a part of me, and I know the Tennessee fans can feel this out here, doesn't matter almost who they have on the court. The curse is there. It is real. Rick Barnes. I mean, even with all the talent that they've had, never's gotten past the Sweet 16. Does Tennessee have the ingredients and the pieces to run deep and be a Final Four team? Of course they do. They're that deep. I like what they have in the middle, and they can run at different paces, although I do think teams that slow it down do give Tennessee problems. But they always find a way to blow it. It's Purdue, right? It's the same teams. It's Arizona. All the talent they have on the court, they will go into the tournament and find a way to blow it until Tennessee shows me something else. I'm going to believe otherwise.
Well, here's where I'm at on that. And listen, all the negative aspect and the critiques of Rick Barnes, I'm not saying that they're not true.
Couldn't win it with Kevin Durant.
I mean, they won 31 games one year at Tennessee and didn't make it to the Elite Eight. I mean, you look at some of the players they've had in the past. The criticisms are warranted. But as someone who's watched the Red Sox finally win a World Series, who's watched the Cubs finally win a World Series, everybody said the same thing about Kirby Smart in Georgia. Well, he's not going to get over the Alabama hump, Now we're wondering if there's anybody out there outside of Zeus and the rest of the Greek gods that's going to stop Georgia from going on a run here in the future. So, again, trends are made to be broken. Streaks are made to be broken. At some point, Tennessee is going to break through. I think Rick Barnes is too good of a coach, and they're too talented of a team. We want to know, who is your surefire bet, and I can't wait to hear you say UConn. To me, deep down, it's Houston. That's who I feel the best about, if we're going to be honest. But who is your surefire bet out there to make a run to the Final Four? We're going to open up the phone lines at 8:15 a.m. Eastern. It's 1-855-236-3228. Going to get to the Booster Club, but first, look, eating better can be hard for some people. All right? It's a big factor in your life. But you need to get Factor in your life. Jake, what do you mean by that? Blaine says ominously, waiting on a retort. Well, eating better is easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, and ready to go in just 2 minutes. It's a hurry-up offense of deliciousness, David. Y'all have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. And there's more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. So, what are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals with Factor Meals. Head to factormeals.com/booster50. All right, then you're going to use code booster50 and you get half off your order.
Wow.
All right? That is factormeals.com. Y'all know how to spell it. /booster50 to get 50% off. David, how excited are you about this?
I like food.
Coming to the house. Yes, I like food, and I like good food.
I like to eat.
I like good food.
50% off?
50%
Twice
off.
the meal. Twice the amount of food for half the price.
Twice the meal, twice the deliciousness, twice the fun.
Where do
half
I sign up?
the price. Well, you go to factormeals.com /booster50. Then you use that promo code booster50. I think you should do it right now. Also, we're going to put a link in for merch in the chat. If you like the show, you want to help out, grab a hoodie, grab a candle, grab the door and turn the handle, whatever. We're going to put that link in the chat. We appreciate you guys. All right, Blaine.
Clean face.
Yeah, not excited about it. Speaking of 50, let's go to Sammy Caldwell with the $50 dough.
Sammy, all right, turn the cameras off. We did it, y'all.
Sammy dropping a bag early in the morning, babe. I love it.
I'm moving to an island.
Says, can I get a Go Gators? They killed it last night, and it was beautiful.
What has your boy been saying for a couple weeks now?
Home game.
Who's the sleeper in the NCAA tournament? This Florida team, we talk about complete teams. You've got Clayton, old guard. Pullen, old guard. What Todd Golden has done, or Golden Todd, as they call him in Gainesville, opposite of Billy Napier right now. They're super excited about this guy. The Todd Father's another one I heard that was hilarious. But they've got old guards. You see Richards coming on as well, a guy that's been up and down for them this year. He gives them another scorer that's a matchup problem. And they just got a bunch of trees down low that can run. Samuel is a problem. Hanglockton, the Marshall transfer, which, by the way, it's got an awesome last name. They've got another absolute monster white tree. For some reason, his name's escaping me right now. Hit a big three last night. But Florida, they can play up-tempo. They're a great rebounding team. And when they lost at Bama earlier in the year, the one thing that surprised people was Bama just kicked their ass on the boards. Well, you remember the elbow to the face that got a boy suspended? There was a lot of momentum going into last night in Gainesville, and they just ran the checkup. A lot of fouls, obviously, in that game. I think they shot like 56 free throws, something like that. But that wasn't the reason that Florida won. I think the question isn't about Florida coming out of last night. Is Alabama, who just gave up 117 to Kentucky. We've seen them give up 100 multiple times, gave up 105 last night. We know how good, David, they are offensively. But this Bama team on defense, it seems like their offense affects their defense.
No doubt, no doubt.
Let's go to Zach Wilson. Zach, what's up? How's it up there in New York, man? He says, I feel like the guy in Princess Bride with the poison when it comes to picking Tennessee.
I know.
If I pick them, they will flop again. But if I don't pick them, they'll for sure win it all.
Amen.
It's hedging emotions. That's what you do. You bet against your team. What did Blaine do yesterday? He took Missouri plus 11.
Yes, sir.
He took the bullet for Auburn. They almost win by 30.
Beautiful.
That's just part of it, right? How much do you care? You want to pay for a win? That's the closest thing you're going to get, bud, outside of maybe donating to the NIL fund, which, you use the right sports book, which is betonline.ag. You never know what can happen.
I lost $250 on Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
And Michigan, what? But again, if I told you, David, it will cost you $250 for Michigan to beat Alabama, you would have paid that.
That's pretty much what I did.
I could
feel that energy in the air.
I love it.
It was worth it.
I get it. It's an offering to the gods. That and no war during the Carnea.
All right, let's go to George. He says, why is Tennessee seen as a blue blood basketball program when they haven't got past the Sweet 16?
Again, the last time was with Buzz Peterson in 2010. I just think they've been so consistent in winning, and they've they're a team that it feels like they just stay in the top 10 with Rick Barnes. A lot of it depends on, I think, how you define a blue blood. To me, a blue blood is somebody that not only succeeds in the regular season, they succeed in the postseason. You have to do both. You can't just be a regular season monster, or you can't just be a team that makes a run in the NCAA tournament when they barely sneak in there a couple times every now and then. I think it's a combination of the two, but people's definitions differ. Tennessee, I don't think, is a blue blood in basketball yet. They put together the postseason with the regular season dominance. Then we'll start talking over.
I agree with that.
Let's go to the man, the bacon eater. He says, will there be a Booster Club March Madness bracket?
Will there? Will there? Don't worry. We got details coming up on that here shortly. Very excited. I love March Madness. There may even be, rumor has it, from the top of the streets, There could be a live stream day one.
The top of the streets.
Did I say top of the streets?
Anybody
the top of the streets, the bottom of the streets, those are the guys you really got to worry about.
Yeah,
especially if you've ever seen Ninja Turtles.
All right, let's go to Kevin T. He says, I'm taking Florida as my long shot Final Four pick. Jake, you finally convinced me.
I've been saying it for weeks. I've been watching these guys, and they've just slowly started to figure it out. Now, it's got to translate to a neutral site. You just can't go and wet your Huggies when you get into some postseason play. But I tell you what, these conference tournaments, it's just...
Can't wait.
It's just going to be a fist fight. There's great games tonight, too.
Let's go to BJ Gravedigger. BJ, what is up? He says, what do y'all think about Mark Sears? He's carrying Bama every week, scoring 33 of the 87 points last night.
Look, he's an All-American to me.
He's averaging the second most points in the SEC.
He's so consistent. That's the thing. And the guy's bag is so deep. Obviously shooting, as a three-point shooter, he's a very consistent free throw shooter as well. But driving, even though Alabama lost last night, like when I watch Sears and I watch Estrada and I watch some of these guys, the way they're able to drive and finish. The offensive bag nowadays for a lot of guys, but especially Bama, they're slippery on offense. It's just on defense, they're slippery too, and that's not a good thing.
He's the perfect player for Nate Oates, too.
He is.
In terms of the percentage, I think it's something like 35 to 40% of his shots are three-pointers, and then 50%, something like that, are at the rim, and almost no shots in no man's land.
You know who he kind of reminds me of a little bit? And I'm not saying he's going to be this guy, but he's got some Jalen Brunson to him. Shorter, stockier, lefty,
physical at the
drive,
rim.
shoot, can create space, is not afraid to get physical at the rim and can finish. I love his game. I think he's a hell of a player.
All right, let's go to J-Dubs. J-Dubs, what's up, my guy? Says, Jake, are you gassing up Tennessee while hating on Purdue? They have similar postseason issues. And as a reminder,
they do.
Purdue already beat Tennessee this year.
You're not incorrect. But here's my whole point of opening with this is I think we're going to see the same story with Purdue. Because I don't trust Purdue's guards defensively, right? Where has Purdue gotten better than what they've shown us, even when they've struggled in the tournament? You had Zach Edey and Trevon Williamson with Ivy.
And
Jaden Ivey, and you couldn't do it. I like Lawyer, right? I like, some of these older guards. Braden Smith, which you can make a statement about him being an All-American. I don't think you'd be crazy. But defensively, I don't think their guards can do what Tennessee's guards can do. And the difference is Dalton Connect. Zach Edey is going to get his. What is different about Tennessee this year, and what is different about Purdue? With Purdue, it's nothing. This is the same movie we've seen. With Tennessee, it's Dalton Connect. Again, that's my whole point. I think Tennessee makes their move this year. Purdue, and I hope I'm wrong. I love Matt the Painter, right? I don't see a difference in this Purdue team from what I've seen in the past.
All right, G. Hurt says, doesn't it feel like the SEC basketball this year is the Pac-12 from last year in football?
Well, they've made the longevity, I think, is going to be a lot better. As a surprise, and again, I don't think the Pac-12 finished last year as the best conference, David, in college football, but I think it was more of a surprise that the Pac-12 was as good as they were because that conference was disappearing.
Agreed.
SEC basketball has been getting better and better and better for a long time. I think this was just a long time coming. I don't think this is as big as a surprise.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, one more.
Let's go to Andrew S. Andrew, what is up? So Tennessee will lose to South Carolina today and crap the bed in the big dance, just like they always do.
Would not be shocked if they lost to South Carolina tonight. I really like the under. I don't want to jinx myself. But even if they do, I'm still going to feel the same way. It could be ugly. I just think this Tennessee team's different. But winning on the road in the SEC, they're very few and far between. It's going to be an incredible environment for who I believe should be the SEC Coach of the Year in Lamont Paris and South Carolina tonight. But we're going to get back to the Booster Club. Let's go ahead and get to some reactions.
Ton to react to here. Let's start with our buddy Andy Staples put out a graphic of the two super conferences for college football and what it could look like moving forward in the years to come. We have that graphic here.
Yeah.
You want to list off what the SEC would have there?
Yes, I'll start with the SEC and then I'll go to the Big Ten. We've talked about this a lot. It just seems like it's inevitable that we'll end up with two super conferences, the SEC and Big Ten, or as they're known in the media world, Fox and ESPN. So let's go to the SEC. Florida, Georgia, Clemson, NC State, South Carolina, Miami, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt still sneaks in here somehow, LSU and Missouri, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, which that would be huge in Stillwater, obviously,
Bedlam.
and Kansas State. So basically what this is to me is a pure mixture of SEC, top-level ACC, pretty much. It's just sprinkled everywhere. I think they just combined basically all these conferences. I know it's obviously a super league, but it's not like it's SEC and Big 12, and then it's like Big 10 and ACC. It's kind of a mix. So when you go to the Big 10, you got Penn State, Florida State, North Carolina, Virginia, Pitt, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Rutgers, Purdue, Indiana. It's already disgusting to me. Ohio State, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, UCLA, USC, Oregon, Washington, Utah, and Nebraska. Look, trying to guess exactly what team's going to be where, that's futile in my opinion. I like the way that Andy and them did this. The question to me, and because I don't want to go into the strength of the SEC versus the strength of the Big Ten here, is the inevitability of this. At some point, do you just rip the Band-Aid off? Do we just go? Just go?
I remember having breakfast with Coach Lloyd Carr, who recruited me at Michigan years ago, and he said, yeah, we're headed to these mega super conferences. And at the time, I mean, this was 14 years ago. It seemed crazy at the time. And now we're looking at this graphic right here. Now, obviously, this would be for just football. I mean, you don't see Duke on here, right, which is, you can't even have that conversation when you're talking about basketball. A couple things, that would iron out is like Virginia and Virginia Tech are in different conferences here, and North Carolina and North Carolina State are in different conferences. You would probably just pair up in-state rivals a little bit better like that. But it is crazy to think. I don't know. I mean, this would get us to what? I haven't done the count, but about 48?
So that's 6, 12, 8 is 24.
48. So 48 total teams vying for one championship. If you had a 12 or whatever they go to, 14, 16 team playoff, something like that, it seems like that is a manageable number of teams to vie for a championship. And then let every other team, every other program, whatever you call them, group of 5, 1AA, whatever, vie for a different playoff and championship. That seems like it's manageable and sustainable.
Yeah, Blaine, obviously this is a college football super league. David brought it up. We're not talking about college basketball. But I feel like we are going to this point. I would bet on this happening. I just look at what the Big 12 has done, right? And Brett Yormark and kind of securing their future. The question now becomes the ACC, right? If you had to guess which conference would be next on the chopping block from a football standpoint, it would be the ACC. But I don't think you can't end up with 3 super conferences, right? You can't have a power 3. It would have to be an even number, right?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Why is Miami?
See, I don't think you get into the nitty gritty of really what team is where. It's getting to this point. Is it something we should just go ahead and get to if you're going to make it a 14-team playoff? Yeah, it's
inevitable. I mean, if we're going to do it, I agree. You might as well go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. But man, I don't mind it.
I mean, let's do it. Look, here's my whole point, and I think you guys are with me on this one. I think you will ride into the mist of Valhalla with me on this one. As long as we keep the regular season at 12 games, right, and you keep the amount of playoff teams under 16, maybe 16 and under. My buddy, and they do a good show, Neil McCready and Tyler Siskey was talking about, he believes that a 16-team playoff, because you could take a bye week out, which we'll see if they do that, with player safety during the regular season is the max before you have to start cutting regular season games. Can you imagine a all-conference schedule, right, like we saw during the COVID year, with a 24-team conference, 12 games, that there is no more, New Mexico Tech of the willing and wanted, the Presbyterian, State Baptist, whoever, in that pretty much cupcake week. Now, your non-conference games are as elite as the Chick-fil-A Classic or the Dunkin' Donuts meetup in San Diego or whatever the hell they call it now before. I could get behind that.
I hate it most for programs and fans of programs like, say, a Washington State or Oregon State, Syracuse, even like a Stanford, not finding themselves on a list like this is like, where do those traditional Power 5 schools go in this scenario, and are they going to get left behind?
Is there any way for there to be independence still? But you couldn't. Who's going to schedule Washington State?
If Notre Dame's already joined one of these, then I don't know.
Yeah, if Notre Dame's in there is no more independence. There is no more. The British really won. All right, what do we got next?
All right, next one up. Chip Kelly had some words to say on why he left UCLA, and he's now the offensive coordinator at the Buckeyes. Can we play this clip?
John Lennon, when he was a little kid, that had an assignment of what do you want to be when you grow up, and he said, I want to be happy. And then his teacher said, I don't think you understand the assignment. And his mom said, I don't think you understand life. So I just want to be happy. And I'm really happy coaching a position, really happy to be at this place. You know, it would have taken a special place for me to leave UCLA because I love those players and I love that coaching staff. But to be here with Ryan, I had a great relationship. I've known Ryan since he was a little kid. So I think a lot of things just fell into place that way.
I like Chip Kelly. And I do think, you know, some things at UCLA obviously led to him leaving. Doesn't this just feel like the person who's like, I can be broke and happy. Not saying Chip Kelly's broke. And Blaine, I think you're going to bring up a great point here in a second we talked about before the show. But this just feels like somebody who's trying to convince me that they're happy. I don't think happy people have to convince you that they're happy, right? Again, it's probably a better situation, but deep down, Chip Kelly wants to be a head coach in a good situation. I don't need you to. It's almost like the average Joe's off dodgeball. You know, when White Goodman's like, "Listen, I love what you got going over there. The whole I'm not okay, you're not okay, but that's okay thing." I don't know. Whenever you have to convince me, you're having to quote John Lennon about like your situation. I don't know. I just feel like the happiest people don't do that.
He just didn't sound happy at UCLA.
I don't think he was. I don't think, but I don't think this is the happiest moment of Chip Kelly's life. Like that now he just loves it again.
I never seen someone who looks so sad say they're happy. Like, Chip, man, I can get facial cues. And look, dude, I just wonder if you'd be saying if you were poor.
Yeah, no,
you know?
Yeah,
I really wonder, like, we're bringing up like John Lennon quotes. Hey, dog, can you just get Will Howard to throw the football where it needs to go?
So how's Will feel? How's Will?
John Lennon and his mom are probably taking acid when they're 7.
She's literally just spinning on cardboard.
When she said that, she was looking the other way. Excuse me,
she didn't realize she was
Miss Lennon. I'm over here.
She thought she was in Wonka's factory. No, it's make no mistake. The first chance that Chip Kelly gets to be a head coach again, the minute this goes well for Ohio State, which I think it will this year, that's where I'm leaning early, them in Georgia, he's going to be a head coach again.
See, I would like if he got fired from UCLA and he was saying this now, I would be 100% on board. But he left there. So like he could already be a head coach right now.
But is it like
coach right this second?
Is one of those situations where it's like you didn't just leave her for no reason. It's like you came home from work early and she's sitting with the pool boy in the living room. That's what it feels like. And then you left. Like,
go clean the pool, man.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Let's go to Eli Drinkowitz. He had something to say about his stand on business.
Oh, this is hilarious.
To Josh Heupel.
This is hilarious.
You see this? Break this down.
Yes, this is hilarious. All right, let's. Do we have the clip?
Or I think it's a graphic.
Yeah, the graphic. Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick because this story is absolutely incredible. So basically, what happened?
You saw this, right?
Oh yeah. So last year, when Missouri beat Tennessee. Right, because I believe Tennessee just beat Missouri to death 2 years ago, and they kept piling it on. Eli Drinkowitz was caught on the mic after he shook hands with Josh Heupel, saying, "We stand on business."
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a weird interaction, almost like you thought, hey, there's some beef between Drink and Josh Heupel because of the way it went down the year before.
That's what I thought.
But turns out, Eli Drinkowitz, and this is hilarious to me, had told the defense that if they played well, he would tell Tennessee's coach that they stand on business. And he was like, I had 2 options after I said that. One, I could look like a jackass on national TV, or I could look like a jackass that lied to my team.
Yep.
I will pick looking like the jackass on national television. And it's just now when I watch that video, it's hilarious. Like, you just watch it differently. So, and he made the right choice to me. If you're going to make that was a huge win for Missouri as well. If you're going to make that promise, you've got to deliver, right? Now, was Josh Heupel probably unbelievably confused when he said that? Yes. Did Josh Heupel maybe lay awake at night with his eyes open on his pillow when he put his head down in bed? Yeah. But now that story was told, it's absolutely hilarious.
Well, he said the defensive players were following right behind.
Oh, of course. You got to make good.
So the question to me is, the next time Tennessee beats Missouri,
Josh can say whatever he wants. Hall pass.
What's Josh Heupel?
Hall pass. Mm-hmm. Like you get to say whatever you want if you beat us the next time, and you know what? I'm good with it.
What would he say? What would he say, Blaine?
I don't know, but it wouldn't be good. Josh, what do you got to say to somebody who says about you're standing on business? I mean, I'm 10 toes.
What if he's like, y'all suck? Like, you could just say something just so simple.
Bet you won't come across the street.
All right, next one up here, some NFL updates. So the Seahawks are going to release Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and Will Dissly. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, part of the business, you hate to see it. Jamal Adams is one of my favorite players to watch, and it feels like he has kind of fallen off a little bit. But the Seahawks looks like they're rebuilding in some areas, and I can understand it. Again, it's part of the business. You got kind of a changing of the guard, obviously, there in Seattle with Pete Carroll no longer there. So we'll see. They want to build the team the way they want to build it, and I respect it.
Jamal Adams, 3-time Pro Bowler, having trouble staying healthy.
Yeah, not the same guy. Season. I mean, I hadn't got a sack in the last 2 years. Can't stay on the field. And I think you'll save up to $7 million for the Seahawks. This is good for the Seahawks, including Diggs. Diggs haven't been performing. You drafted Witherspoon, who's right now my rookie of the year last year. I mean, I think Puka obviously got it, but I think Witherspoon can be up there as well as the way he played. But good for the Seahawks. I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think it's time they start kind of changing the guard a little bit.
All right, next one up here. The Dartmouth men's basketball team did officially vote to unionize yesterday in a 13-2 vote.
This just feels like Dartmouth men's basketball makes no money. Like, you should not be the ones that started this, right? If you can be on one side of the fence or the other, should unionize, shouldn't unionize. But it's hard for me to take you seriously when you guys lose money. Like, if this was Georgia's football team or like Duke basketball, okay, I think you have something to stand on. You make money. This is like a business that doesn't make money that's losing money. This is like a lemonade stand next to a Minute Maid factory. Like, talking trash about how, they need the same benefit. No, you don't. You don't have the same juice as them, pun intended. Like, this is just, again, this just feels like the ugly girl at the bar, like, just trashing the good-looking people. That's what it seems like to me. I can't take these guys seriously. I'm not taking them seriously. I don't care what they vote to unionize or whatever. They get together in their little circle and talk about whatever. Again, I guess it's setting a precedent. They want to be, cool and be the ones that get the ball rolling. It's just you make no money. I'm not taking you serious.
Well, they said they hope that this will lead to the rest of the athletes in the Ivy League coming together to form a mega collective.
Well, I just hope y'all shut up. That's what I hope.
But there's clearly a disconnect between people thinking, okay, now we're technically labeled as employees, and then thinking that automatically means you're going to get whatever you ask for.
Yeah,
what again. You go in and ask for $1 million a year and free healthcare or something. They tell you no. What
if we're going to be honest? If everything was fair, not that everything's fair in the business world, but if it was more even, if it was more even playing field, and it wasn't students against certain people, they really just signed their own death warrant.
That's what I've been saying for years since they've been talking.
Like, if you look and say, all right, you guys are employees now, let's see what you're bringing in. Let's see financially how much you're behooving the company. Oh, my God, we're getting you're losing money, you're fired. Why do we even have a basketball
If that happens, think about generations of kids who won't get a chance to play basketball.
But see, they're not smart at that. It's all about how I'm a victim and I'm not getting what I deserve. You're not. You make no money. You make no money. This is like eating all the cookies and then wondering where the cookies are. Like, why don't I get more cookies? Well, you ate them all. So, again, I think we should send a great message, and Dartmouth should cancel a basketball program. That's what I think. That's what I think they should.
You think that'll happen, Blaine?
I didn't even know Dartmouth had a basketball team.
They do.
Who cares? You don't know. And it's always, of course, leave it to the Ivy League.
The dumbest people.
The dumbest
people
that you will ever see. Of course, it's these guys. You're fired.
I would rather hire somebody from a trade school than hire somebody from the Ivy League right now. Without a doubt.
That's what someone told me last year when Tony Petitti sent something out about after he suspended Jim Harbaugh, and they said, yeah, you're so much smarter than like a Harvard law grad. I said, give me one decent mechanic over this year's entire Harvard.
Without a yes, class. We will run into we will be Icarus.
All right, 3 more here quickly. Do we have Sam Hartman running his 40? Yeah, Sam Hartman. I pulled this one up for our boy over there, Blaine. I just wanted to see you watch Sam Hartman run his 40 and see what you thought.
You just can't convince me to sing Keanu Reeves. Just play the clip. This is a John Wick trailer.
I'm watching it.
It's Keanu. Yeah, man.
I feel like I'm watching.
What's up, man?
Braveheart here.
Killed my dog.
Yeah, who's he about to go save in the ocean?
Yeah. Look, Sam Hartman.
Whatever, dude.
Listen, I'm married. I'm
Blaine, you're better looking.
I'm as straight as an arrow. That's
all right, I'll be honest.
You shocked me more when I said that with the pregnancy simulator, which is
and
coming
it's
out
not
this
a
week.
good look. It's the day after I shaved. We have Sam Hartman video.
But no, does this not look like Keanu Reeves, though?
Yeah, he does.
It looks like Keanu Reeves and Colin Farrell had a kid. Colin Reeves.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's Colin Reeves.
Yes.
Oh, Colin Reeves.
Sam just looks like she's in one of those like Christmas Hallmark movies.
People hate
Oh,
that.
yeah, he does.
Like he goes back. And
like it's the same movie.
He meets the girl at the Peach Festival whose dog just got hit by the ice cream
What's
truck.
more vulnerable than a peach?
What's more vulnerable than a peach on a farm?
And Sam just came back and he found out he had a daughter he never knew.
God, I love the elf. What's his name?
Write that script.
What's Peter Dinklage? What is it? Thomas Finch? Is that his name? Miles Finch. Like he left his little black book. What's more vulnerable than a peach? He's like, all right, it's an asparagus that doesn't like the smell of its own urine. I'm just, dude, that movie is so. Do you know Will Ferrell turned down Elf 2?
Yeah, I heard he didn't get along with
for
Jon Favreau.
Say it again?
I heard he didn't get along with Jon Favreau, the director.
Really?
That's what I heard.
Wow. Well, good for him. I'm glad that at least they didn't ruin that.
Do more due diligence just before I say things live like that, but that's what I heard.
Well, hold on. Jon Favreau's calling in. He says,
I love Jon Favreau.
He says you're not standing on business.
I would side with Jon Favreau. I'm sorry.
I heard you're out of the Brothers of Destruction.
Peacock chest.
All right. I don't know what either one of you two are talking about. So, bubblegum home run. Do we have the bubblegum home run?
Here we go.
I did not see this.
Is this for Texas State, I believe?
Oh.
All right.
Oh, he blew the bubble when he hit the tank?
Now, do we have this? Do we have the photo? The still shot from home plate. Look at that.
Wow.
Blowing the bubble gum.
That's how natural it is.
Yeah, it is. Run. He didn't even realize he was blowing that
You're
bubble.
A ball player.
That's the thing.
That's how I know you're a ball player.
If it's me, I'm not going to the baseball combine. I'm just sending that picture to every one of the GMs of Major League Baseball.
That's worth a top 3-round draft pick right there.
No, like you're starting. Like I believe 100%. And you did it at the Astros field, right? That is
the way that bat sounds.
That would be, I would, you talk about a fat head, that would be on a whole wall of my living room. Or actually, I just may order 20 fat heads, and it's all around my house.
Same.
That is an absolutely elite picture.
All right, last one here. I saw you tweet this out yesterday. Famous rappers, but if they were white.
Oh, dude, this is nuts. I've met 2 of these guys.
Okay.
Rick Ross?
Yeah. There's Jelly Roll.
Yeah, is it a video?
Yeah, there's multiple ones. They got like look at Lil Wayne.
No.
I've met that guy.
Trippy.
That's Tom McDonald. It's Tom McDonald. Look at that. We've all met that guy. Do you know how many Marlboro Reds I've watched the white Snoop Dogg? We all met that guy.
Tupac.
I'm telling you. Look at Jay-Z. Why is he part of the Sopranos?
You look like you're from Bulgaria.
Look at that. That's the comedian. What's his name? The guy that's on TikTok that does all the things like with his wife?
Biggie.
I mean, this is kind of weird. I mean, now him, I don't know. It kind of looks like a messed up Kevin Federline, but look at Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, that's good.
Yeah, that's an actor.
Is this AI?
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
I mean,
I've met. Please tell me this ends with Eminem.
It's trippy, man. It's trippy for real.
This is crazy. Busta Rhymes.
Look at Busta Rhymes. We've all, I swear I've met that guy. T.I., that one tripped me out. That one tripped me. It's like MGK.
Wow.
That's
wild,
weird.
Man.
That is weird, isn't it? It's like watching Michael Penix throw when they did the right-handed thing.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Version of that is when his fundamentals looked better.
He was still throwing dots, by the way.
In case anyone was lasers. Yeah. Are they at least angry? All right, new sponsor alert. All right. Have you ever tried to break a bad habit, but it feels like you're climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops? Yeah, I think we all have our vices, right? And we've been there.
There we go.
But that's why Fume, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's not about giving up, it's about switching up. And Fume takes your habit and simply makes it better. What is Fume? It's an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that uses flavored air instead of vapor. We all know the phenomenon that's dangerous as heck right now. This is a safe alternative, and they use the flavored air instead of the harmful chemicals that you find in vapor. You got delicious flavors: crisp mint, orange vanilla, maple pepper, sparkling grapefruit. It's basically what herbal tea is to soda, right? Not as sweet and much more natural. It was designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting because keeping your fingers busy is helpful for de-stressing while breaking your habit. Blaine, this is a product that you've tried. One of the reasons we were very excited to bring it on, and it's, I mean, again, it's a safer alternative to habits that may worry you.
It really is, and it gets what you need out of it. Like, as a guy who used to be on the elf bars and all this and all that, it's what you need. Do it. I'm telling you, you might be a little bit hesitant at first, and I know, but just give it a try. You'll like it.
Yep. So kick your bad habits today by going to tryfume.com/booster, and you'll get 10% with promo code booster. Here's how you get there. It's FUM.com/booster. BOOSTER. I'm telling you. And maybe it's not just for you. Maybe it's for a family member or a friend that's having this problem. They're trying to break this habit. Give Fume a chance. FUM.com/booster. Use that promo code booster for 10% off. I'm telling you guys, it is a fantastic product. We're very excited to be sponsored by them, and hopefully it can make a difference for a lot of people. All right, let's get back to actually, you know what? It's Wednesday. I'm tripping, y'all.
It is.
I'm tripping, y'all. And there's somebody that used to play running back in Florida. He's a dog now.
Oh.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He is.
All right, who's not very happy with his old Gators. And we know every Wednesday, the old man, the 93-year-old that's trapped in the 35-year-old body.
94.
That's a tall-ass 35-year-old body, though. David, who is G'ing off your L so sweetly today?
Emmitt Smith needs to get off my lawn.
Emmitt, get out.
Emmitt Smith is one of the greatest football players in the history of the game. He is the NFL's all-time rushing yards leader and was a dominant force for the Florida Gators. Unfortunately, his excellence on the gridiron has not translated to his perspective regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, at his alma mater. This week, the University of Florida announced it was eliminating all positions, 13 in total, related to DEI following a new Florida Board of Governors regulation. The board defines DEI as any program or policy that classifies individuals on the basis of race, sex, nationality, etc., and promotes differential or preferential treatment on the basis of such classification. Was that not the entire ethos of the civil rights movement? Don't treat people differently due to immutable characteristics such as skin color. Emmitt Smith responded with, "I'm utterly disgusted by UF's decision. We need diverse thinking to enhance our university. To the many minority athletes, please be aware the university is now closing its doors on other minorities." Do you see how those last two sentences contradict each other? We need diverse thinking. Correct. That is an essential element for any successful endeavor, followed by UF is closing its doors on minorities. Since when did the word diversity become synonymous with any particular race of people? Webster's definition for diversity is being composed of various elements. If you apply this term to Florida's football team, true diversity would mean adding more Asian running backs and Hispanic linebackers. But I've yet to see Emmitt Smith champion that cause, which makes me think diversity is not really the end goal of DEI initiatives. Smith ended his statement by saying, to those who think it's not your problem and stay on the sidelines, you are complicit in supporting systemic issues. Well, I'm not staying on the sidelines. I'm standing in direct opposition to these ideals because America is stronger and more fruitful when we do not discriminate based on race, which is a position I thought had become uncontroversial.
It's exactly right.
Yeah, Dave.
It's exactly right. And Emmitt Smith isn't the only one. This is something that obviously has affected every area, it feels like, of life. I don't understand, and nobody can explain to me how you stop racism by being racist.
Yeah.
Like, I don't I don't understand that. That doesn't make, to be honest with you, when it's put like that, it really does, it makes you sound dumb. And I know Emmitt Smith isn't dumb.
I know.
I don't think he's dumb. But when you say things like that, it makes no sense. It down to its core, it makes no sense. I just wish we would let racism die the death it deserves. Because again, David, you bring up a good point. Where's all the Asian players on the basketball team?
Yeah.
Right? Where are all the Latinos on the golf team? Like you can't pick and choose, ideals in this situation. That's just what it feels like to me. It's just nonsense.
So just surprising to see from a guy who worked hard to climb the mountaintop of a particular.
It just feels like something his wife told him to say. That's just what it feels like to me. Like
new ones every day, man.
It just
even if you identified like, hey, you know what, we should have a quota system here where there's a minimum number of people or a minimum percentage for different ethnicities because this, gives younger people a chance to see themselves in different positions. Even if you assign quota systems, then wouldn't you have to play that out in every scenario? So if you have a basketball team that's 85% black, then diversity in that case is like, hey, where are the Mexican shooting guards?
Yeah, well, it's just why
you would have to do that, but no one ever talks about that.
Well, it makes no sense. It's just the dumbest thing ever. I just feel like we've gotten to a point where like there isn't really oppression like there used to be, and some people like wish they were in the civil rights era. I really believe that. Like I feel, and that's why when I see people like Emmitt Smith say this, like he was a talented guy. I feel like people who go out here and say this use oppression as a crutch for the talentless. Mm-hmm. Like just to make an excuse for why my life didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or somebody didn't allow me to do this instead of me going out and getting it myself. Look, was there problems in the past? Yes, but like we're past that. Y'all got to get past this, man.
And
like it's just never going to end until just every person that looks like Emmitt Smith has all the jobs, and then what are they going to say? Like then what are they going to say?
Well, like if you're a 19, 20-year-old kid at Florida and you're an athlete on the football team and you see one of the greatest players in Florida history coming out and saying like, hey, this is a version of oppression and this is wrong that the school did this and you guys need to stand up. Like, what are those young kids supposed to think? They're like, well, Emmitt Smith must be right. And what are you going to like boycott the team or something now?
Yeah, well, it's just like stop saying this stuff so we just stop talking about it. Like I want to talk about if Houston's going to make the Final Four or like if DJU is going to lead Florida State to the promised land. Not this stupid stuff, dude. Let's just not do it. It's pointless to me. But I tell you what isn't pointless? The Booster Club.
All right, let's get to the chat. Michael McMichelson.
Is that Rick McRickerson's brother?
It is. He says, Jake, with all due respect.
Oh, here we go. That means he's about to... Excuse me about that.
You don't know what Chip Kelly wants. Pretty believable to me that he will be happy as an offensive coordinator.
I'm not saying that Chip Kelly is just walking around angrily, like shaking his fists like Simpson style. But having to convince me that you're happy instead of just going and living your life, and we know that Chip Kelly wants to be a head coach. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I think there's levels of happiness, right? I think Chip Kelly is at his happiest when he's the head coach at a place where he's comfortable and it's working well and stuff like that. So, again, anybody that tells me, like, it's like those people that do those videos now that are like 800 pounds that are like, we should make the airplanes bigger because I can't fit in the bathroom. Like, I don't feel like, and they say, oh, but I'm still happy. I don't think you're happy as you just eat another whole bag of curly fries. Like, I don't think you're happy.
I was going to Danny Girl, who says, with 24 teams in each conference, do they then go back to the East/West divisions inside each super conference? Don't like the idea of the SEC Easy East again that guarantees GA into the title game each season.
Well, you got to think about it like this. You add more teams, you have to add more games. You got 24 teams. Right now, the SEC is going to have 16 teams, right? Let's say they do go, which they will, to a 9-game in-conference schedule. Right, so you still have 3 regular season games left over. And the tiebreaker situation right now with 16 teams isn't as nuts as obviously it would be with 24 teams. But if you change 9 conference games to 12 regular season conference games, you add 8 teams. That about lines up. I don't think you have to go divisions. I really don't.
At 16?
At 24 teams in that scenario, but you play 12 in-conference games instead of the 9 they're going to for the 16. That You don't have to add too many tiebreakers. But what I do like about it is that the two best teams more commonly are going to play each other for the conference championship with no divisions. I don't want divisions. Don't like it.
All right, let's go to Steve Parker. Steve, what is up, my guy? Says there's nothing like a bunch of silver spoon student athletes like these Ivy claiming financial oppression enough to unionize.
Yeah, again, you don't have the juice. It's like I saw some video. This guy was asking $1 million for 3% of a company that hadn't made a sale yet. What? What? Like, who lied to you guys? Like, I feel like they decided to unionize, and then they opened up their lunches their moms packed for them with no crusts on the sandwich.
Dude, I miss packed lunches.
Did y'all
Did you?
Like, come on, dog. You know talking about kindergarten? A packed lunch, a little recess, and a nap time?
Shoot, kindergarten.
Come on, dog.
Kindergarten. I remember like seventh grade. You, like, open it up, and all of a sudden there may be a note on the napkin or not, just depending on how pissed your parents were at you.
You like the sandwich with no crust?
No, I want crust on my sandwich.
Crust?
I like crust on my pizza. By the way, before I forget. So we went to UT Martin because my wife was an All-American equestrian rider at UT Martin up there, and they have a Casey's gas station. And I got the
like they have up
pizza,
north,
like they have in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting where we're at. We were basically in the Midwest when we were.
That's
up
all
there.
it has.
And
Casey's? I've never been to Casey's.
oh my, dude! If you ever pass a Casey's, I don't know. You may be, not in a plane. I don't know how you'd see it, but if you're ever driving in the Midwest,
stop, sir. There's a Casey's down there.
You land that. It's all of a sudden Cone jumps out with a parachute. It only takes him 10 seconds to get to the ground. He's 9 feet tall. No, but get the breakfast pizza. Trust me on that one. It was as good as I remember. Golly, if you know, you know. Like, we get a lot of calls from the Midwest. You know what? Callers today, if you've eaten a Casey's pizza, I want a breakfast pizza. I want to hear from you.
All right, let's go to Fair's Khan, Shaka Khan. Because the Ivy League has a massive endowments. Not crazy to think that the billionaire alums could fund Ivy League programs to get the best players.
Not to get the best players. The tradition isn't good enough.
No, but they could fund it at a loss, a financial loss.
Yeah, which they're not going to do.
As a PR move. Well, they may as a PR move. This is what I said in the Get Off My Lawn like a last fall or whatever. Dartmouth may say, you know what? Yes, the basketball team operates as a loss, but let's be the first Ivy League to have our players unionize, and we'll be at the forefront of this. Like, that's more likely the scenario. Or it just becomes a club sport and the coaches can't tell them what time to be at practice.
Yeah, it's that is true. Hey, we got intramural practice today against Yale.
Hey, Yale's pretty good this year, dude. I wouldn't shoot him down. All right, let's go to Christopher Jordan. Chris, what is up, my guy? He says, when we look right now, if you had to choose between Purdue, Tennessee, and Arizona to make it farther,
Tennessee.
Who are you taking and why?
Tennessee, because of the whole way I opened the show. Because of the first 15 minutes of the show. That's why.
Zach Edey came from 7-Footer Island.
I know, but he's
got some faith in our 7-footers, man.
Look, he's bald, like in the NCAA tournament. Zach Edey's been good. I know Zach Edey's going to get his. The problem is everything around Zach Edey. That's the problem. Even though it was a huge win over Illinois last night, defensively, I did think Purdue was pretty good. Illinois didn't shoot the ball very well. They only scored 71 points at home. I was shocked by that. But I would take Tennessee. That's who I would bet on.
And Tim Brando had some great things to say about Arizona yesterday, too. So
he did. They just don't play defense.
If you missed that interview yesterday, go back and listen to Tim Brando talk about it.
All right, let's go to RPB. What is going on? He says Harvard has a $40 billion endowment. Put $1 billion into building a monster basketball team. You only need 3 big-time players to get started. Just give them 5x of what they would have gotten anywhere else.
Then why haven't they done it?
Yeah, it's not worth it to them.
Yeah, like they're not going to do it. If they haven't done it by now, they're not going to do it. They're just not.
Their goal is to be seen as the most prestigious academic institution in the world, not just the country, in the world.
Do you think? Yeah.
I don't think they want to be great at
that is true. That's a great point.
Like, they
couldn't turn into jocks, right? They turn into jocks. It goes against the whole. Yeah. What a juxtaposition that would be.
All right, let's go to Tristan Tussey. Tristan, what's going on, buddy? He says, how are they going to handle the Power 5? And do y'all see some teams going down to Division 2?
I think some teams may go down to Division 2. We see teams that go down and teams that go up all the time. The question isn't between that. To me, it's Power 5 and Group of 5. It's do you go ahead and split the playoff, Power 5 and Group of 5, which I would like. I would love a Power 5 12-team playoff, a Group of 5 12-team playoff, an FCS playoff. It's more football, more great football for me to watch. That's what I'd like because, look, let's be honest. A Group of 5 team's not going to win the College Football National Championship. They're just – Georgia Southern's not beating Georgia. Like, Memphis isn't beating Ohio State. Like, it's just not. Maybe once in a blue moon in one game, but not running through a 12 or 14-team tournament. It's not going to happen. It's in basketball.
I was going to War Chain says Casey's is based in Iowa, and they're everywhere in the Mid-S, but he's heard they're starting to make their way down south.
Wow.
Oh, whisper sweet nothings in my ear. I'm just telling you guys, if you had, and I think what makes, this is turning into just a Casey's commercial, but I think what makes it good is like instead of the pizza sauce, it's like the cheese you put on your scrambled eggs, like is the sauce. And then you add it with obviously the cheese on the pizza and the crust and the bacon and I am starving right now.
So Casey's or Buc-ee's?
I've got a full Casey's pizzas in my fridge at home.
Casey's or Buc-ee's?
I just remembered that.
It's Buc-ee's then Casey's, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, Buc-ee's is a grocery store slash fun adventure center.
Okay. So Buc-ee's still, though.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. That's like comparing like Walmart to a great mom and pop.
Well, give me the mom and pop.
That's what. You know what?
Buc-ee's.
You just let me have it for 30 seconds.
I was going to Cody. He says, look, Casey's breakfast pizza is so good. I was definitely thrown off when I was first told Casey's was just as good as any real pizza place.
What is a breakfast pizza, though? What makes it breakfast? Can't you just have pizza at breakfast?
Well, it has eggs. It has bacon. It has that cheese.
What if I eat that for supper? Is it a breakfast pizza?
Well, you're just eating breakfast for dinner.
But what if I eat eggs and bacon at dinner? Is that still breakfast?
Then you're still eating breakfast for dinner, yeah. That's, in my opinion.
I think it's a worthy conversation. Like, what
I mean, look, if you want to get down to the
time of day
nitty-gritty,
or the type of food you're eating?
I just don't know why you're trying to DEI the pizza.
I'm not. I'm trying to ask, like, what makes a breakfast food? The time at which you eat it or the type of food you're eating?
Well, a lot of people will say the time at when you eat it because breakfast is break fast, like after you wake up and eat. I think you actually.
So I could eat a steak there, and that's breakfast.
Well, you ever had steak and eggs?
There you go.
How about that?
Let's go to Arik Kasky. Arik, what's up? It says, we get the college football super conferences. What does that do for college basketball? And do we keep other leagues for...
No clue. I think they keep... That's the part that I wonder the most. Like, if college football does split, do you just keep, like, is the SEC in basketball? It's because we see this already, right? Like, Notre Dame's in the ACC. There's some schools that are in different conferences and different sports. Could you do that all across the board? I guess, but, like, if you're an SEC basketball team, what happens? Like what, do you just, I don't know. Because, like, you're not getting, in that scenario, like, Texas Tech ain't coming over here from the Big 12. I don't think the Big 12 would dissolve in basketball when they're typically one of the best basketball conferences. That's the biggest question for me. But let's go ahead and get to phone calls.
All right, let's get to phone calls. Let me check the lines real quick. First one up, we got Paul in Indiana. Paul, what's up?
Paulie.
Boys, what's up? This is my first time calling.
Appreciate you.
What's up, Paul?
Dickie Dunn, 007, Hillbilly James Bond.
Let's go, baby. Let's write that one down.
I love
you got the golden gun or not?
Yes.
Surprise, you're dead.
No, it's not a golden gun. It's a copper gun that I sawed off a catalytic converter.
Good.
Yeah. So, day one listener, love you guys.
Love you.
But I got to tell you, Blaine, it's midsection. It's great. It's been great.
Thank you.
There's one thing that you said about like 9 months ago that has just not sat well with me.
Good.
Tell him, Paul.
Good. That means it's working.
Tell him, Paul.
It was about cereal.
Cereal.
And,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you said cereal is mid for breakfast.
You said cereal is mid?
Cereal's mid and it's for children.
No, it's...
No. I'm a dad.
Paul, get this man.
Cereal,
Please gas this man.
Cereal is the ultimate late night snack.
For
When
sure.
your kid's gone to bed, Fruity Pebbles in my bowl. You're in bed.
Thank
If
you.
you wake up, well, I want cereal for. No, this is Daddy's time. Go to bed.
Yes.
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 Cereal is not mid. Cereal is the ultimate late night snack.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
And the Casey's pizza's got like scrambled eggs and like biscuits, and it's like got like biscuits and gravy on it or something. It's pretty good.
Dude,
Okay.
I love it.
Good.
I absolutely love it. But, Paul, let me ask you this. You brought up Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles?
God, that's exactly what I was going to ask him.
Which one are you going
Which
with?
one, Paul?
It kind of depends on the mood, but I'm kind of a Fruity Pebbles guy.
Okay.
Y'all are
But the
disgusting.
Cocoa Pebbles, it makes it chocolate milk at the end. So it
I
does
know,
have that trade-off, you know?
that's
What
it.
do you pick?
I'm going Cocoa Pebbles.
Me too. To me,
Because
it's
the
not
milk,
close.
but see,
Yeah.
here's where I come into a crossroads. Cocoa Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, Cinnamon
Because the milk and Cinnamon Toast Crunch to me is fantastic.
It's the taste you can see.
This is the
taste
this
you
is-
can see. It's the taste
This
you
is
can see.
This is the fattest
No, Paul,
conversation I
first
have
off,
ever been
first
a part
off,
of.
you better call in again because that is an incredible way to come in, and you're exactly right.
Paul, are you
Cereal
sure
is
your
not
kid
meant-
wasn't trying to put you to sleep so you can go eat all the fruity
Good. I hope
pebbles?
so. God, Paul gets it,
No.
man.
No, he wakes up and he'll go, but I want cereal at night. And I
Yeah.
say, this is daddy's food.
That's
You
exactly.
want to know why,
Cereal.
Paul? Because he's a child, and cereal is for children.
Paul, I love that sat with you for 9 months because he's been saying some egregious things on It's Mid. So feel free to just call in and
Paul,
Get
you're
after it.
quickly
Paul, I might
becoming
have
one
to
of my favorite
revisit
people.
this Friday too.
Oh wow!
Just to
Flailing
stick the
Duck
dagger in a little.
Flailing Duck
Flailing
Friday, where
Duck
we know
Friday.
that definitely hit
All right,
last
Paul.
week.
Look,
Paul,
I need
are
an
a
arch
long-time
enemy, Paul.
listener.
No, Blade's already got enough arch enemies. He's slowly turning
need another
into
one.
Lex Luthor.
Drain the swamp.
Hey.
Yeah, I just want to know how many drops Blaine had for an 81. That's what I want to know.
Look, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Paul,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Hey,
And
there
I'm
were a
used
lot
to
of
this.
balls that
I'm used to
mysteriously got
this.
found.
I'm used to this. That's why I go with the audio guy, the most trusted guy I know.
Hold on, but before
You get a mully in the front nine, Paul. All right, you get a mully on the back, and you always get a breakfast ball.
so you shot 85.
No, that's
You do
fair.
the
That's
same
fair.
thing,
But
Jake.
Okay, but I say I shoot 85.
I shot 81.
What ball do you use, though?
I was
Just gonna tell me
using Sunday I was using Callaways and some noodles.
Noodles?
Okay, all right. Noodles? All right.
I need to get some top flights, man.
Dude, I
I need some Pro V1. I need some Pro V1s.
I need some Pro V1s.
No, I can only afford Pro V1s when I pick them up out of the ditch that I'm looking
Same.
for. My ball.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about buying them.
Yeah, Blade, what do you mean? Blaine robbed a dick.
Yeah, I live in the woods.
Yeah.
Just
And
get you
eat-
one of those extendable golf ball retrievers.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's Paul. Great
I
call.
grew up
Yeah,
with a
great
golf
call,
course,
Paul.
man.
Cereal sucks.
Great call,
Good
Paul.
guy.
Cereal's great.
Bill
Blade's
Billy
wrong.
James Bond. I love it. All right, let's go to Brian in Boston. Brian, what's up?
What's going on, guys? Tough act to follow. We got Paul, #Daddy's Time on the line.
Yeah,
that
the
was-
serial killer.
Gotta go Coco, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jake, you definitely got the audience excited with that tease about getting the live stream for tourney time, baby.
Dude, is
Love
it
to
not
see
the
that
great?
is still in the works.
You know, to me, it's like the old school American Idol. When American Idol was popular, the best part of it was the first couple days, right? I want to see the train wrecks. Like, I want to see the upsets, right? That's when you see the greatest things. Get into the Elite Eight. You know, there's maybe a Cinderella or two left, right? I can root for FAU, Loyola Chicago. Let's roll Sister Jean in here and everybody get excited. But like the first couple days when like Grand Canyon sneaks up on somebody or some big dog goes down, or I'm watching, you know, some guy, you know, dressed like Sam Smith who can't sing at all. They just got from outside. Like, I just love the first couple days. It'd be a great live stream, wouldn't
Was
it?
that you who recommended it, Brian? I can't remember now. Someone recommended a full day.
So
tourney
you
stream.
know it was, Dave.
Yeah,
That's
baby.
exactly
I love
right.
it.
If you guys need a little help filling some time, have your people get to my people, and we can see what we can make happen. You know what I mean?
Look, Brian, I will fly up to Boston with a Sam Adams in my hand and a smile on my face, dog.
I love it. So the reason for the call today, I think it was Blaine the other day was talking about basketball, the NBA being a little bit tough for him to get into, and I couldn't agree more. That's why I like the college game so much better. But bear with me here and kind of help think this out. The more control players have, the stronger their unions are. I think the leagues are worse off. So like NBA, and I know Blaine is an MLB guy, those two sports have the strongest player unions. And the product stinks because of it. I'm a hockey guy up here in the Northeast. Their union's terrible, and their sport's phenomenal. They
Yeah.
got the hard cap. They got control of it. Same with football. Things like the franchise tag. And the players are starting to gain more control there, and that's worrying me.
Brian, can I give you another example?
The college game.
Can I give you another example?
What's that?
Golf.
Yeah.
How do you think we got the Live Tour?
Yeah.
Good point. I'm not huge into golf, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the four majors.
Well, there's
is
a
when I
balance,
tune in
right? There's
on
a
the
balance.
Sunday of a major.
Listen, this whole country started because we didn't get representation. This is how America started. So I'm not saying that players shouldn't have a say.
Exactly.
Employees should have input, but it shouldn't be the only input and the only way. There's a balance there. And once you tip the scales toward the side of the players having too much power, then it waters down the product. I agree with that 100%.
That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. And I think it ends up getting the court of public opinion always sides with the players because for some reason, we think we're the same as these millionaire athletes.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, the rich, greedy owner. And I get it. But at the end of the day, without the owners, there is no sport either. There is no product.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Well, it's just like all of a sudden, you give somebody too much power, they start talking about how cereal's bad.
Cereal's bad. It's bad. It's not good.
Brian, those are great points, man.
Man. We may sneak up to Boston.
Right. The court of public opinion always sides against the owner.
We've got to go to Fenway, man. That's on my bucket list.
Brian, are you a Celtics fan traditionally?
Yeah. I mean, traditionally, to be honest with you, though, I'm the older I get, the less I'm becoming fans of these teams. Right now, the Celtics are a little bit of a tough watch for me, specifically because of Jaylen
Lost to the
Brown.
Cavs last night.
He kind of speaks out of turn a little bit too much for me, and they to me are the complete representation of a me type of team. So
Gotcha.
That's why they should have won the championship the last 3 years, but the guys are more interested in All-Star games and MVP awards or scoring titles.
Yeah, but not doing the dunk contest.
But that's the league. Yeah, exactly. But that's the league in general, the NBA, and that's why it's kind of tough for me. But yeah, I mean, you better believe I was going nuts back in the Big Three era, watching those games, and I watch a 1980s Larry Bird Celtics era game all day. But I just
I will say
a secondary theory. I know I've been on for a while, but. I have an NBA theory about Michael Jordan being the greatest, basketball player of all time, obviously, but also the reason why the league went from being a team sport to an individual sport, and he kind of inadvertently might have helped ruin the.
I think you can thank Nike for that too, even though they made a boatload of money. I know they wouldn't trade that. I will say before you go, Brian, one of my favorite movies, and I think the most underrated Dan Aykroyd movie and Damon Wayans movie. Celtic Pride. Fantastic picture. Absolutely.
I'll have to watch that one. Brian,
Appreciate it,
thanks
Brian.
so much, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to Joshua in Oklahoma. Joshua, what's up?
Hey, guys.
What's up, man?
What's up, Josh?
I'm here not much. It's Bacon Eater here. So Oklahoma's a weird place. We have Casey's, but we're also getting a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Well, then, excuse me. I think you just described heaven.
I know.
You trying to outdo us
And
down here,
also,
Josh?
They have the best.
Is that a threat, Josh?
Yeah.
What was that?
No, we're just kidding.
To have the best mint chocolate chip ice cream, Blaine. I have tried other mint chocolate chip ice creams, but Oklahoma has the best at Brahms ice cream. It's like a local.
Okay. Brahms?
So it's awful.
Brahms?
Yes.
All right. So now I know. Look, I've been to Oklahoma. It's a fantastic state. Here's what I'll say, Josh. I think we can all, as Americans, side on the side of cereal and mint chocolate chip ice cream.
No,
That is
those are
not
communists.
I
They
think
all
no,
need to
they're
get out of
not
this
communists. There's
They need to
nothing
get out of-
communist about
Drain
mint
the
chocolate
swamp.
chip.
We need to
There's
drain the
nothing
swamp, all
communist about
right?
mint
People
chocolate
who
chip.
like cereal and like mint chocolate chip ice cream need to get out of this country.
Get off my lawn.
Get out
No,
of
okay,
this. The
hey.
best mint chocolate ice cream is still terrible.
Okay, but here's you take the worst cereal, grape nut flakes, and you put vanilla ice cream in the bowl with milk, and you've just upgraded to the best breakfast ever.
See, and I think, Josh, you just figured out how they made those cereal bars that they sell in gas stations now. I think that's exactly the line of thinking that got there. And you know what? You're right, my friend. You're 100% right. Don't listen to what's going on over here. I think we should go do karate in the garage now.
I think so, too. I'd like to join. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, great first call.
Y'all enjoy Russia.
Well, Bacon Eaters called before.
Enjoy Russia. I'm not going, and you can't make me.
Yes, I can.
I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
All right. Alec in Iowa. Maybe he's at a Casey's, too.
Alec, you've had to have a Casey's.
What's going on?
You may be at Casey's right now.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, I'm not at a Casey's right now, but Casey's is certainly a great place to go get pizza. This is
Good.
not intended to be a Casey's ad, but I just got to speak the truth there.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was calling in because I had a question about you guys' topic a couple of days ago, and you guys were talking about the difference between the college football rules and the NFL rules, and how college is going more towards NFL rules. What are you guys' thoughts on comparing college to high school then too? Because if college continues to resemble NFL more and more, isn't it just going to make it that much more complicated for players coming out of high school going into college to learn those new rules, in addition to all the academic stuff they got to deal with?
That is a fantastic point, Alec. I mean, there are rules obviously that are different in high school and in college. I mean, in some high schools now, you can't return an extra point that's blocked for 2 points. There's different rules on special teams is where it rears its head a lot. But again, isn't that what makes it great, right? What again, I'll continue to say, I think the difference is in the NFL and college football, not just rules-wise, but structurally, right? The way the postseason's done and things like that, I think their differences are their strengths. I think the NCAA tournament in college basketball, having the amount of teams they have compared to the NBA playoffs, their differences are their strengths. I think it's the same thing for high school and college. So, Alec, I agree with you. I don't want everything to be uniform. It's an evolution. We see this in business. We see this in politics. We see this in sports. That's just part of it. I don't want it to be the same thing because I want to be able to have options and have choices. And again, depending on where you're from, probably dictates which one you like better. But I like having the options.
All right, awesome. Yeah. What about the other guys? You guys have similar opinions, or you guys?
I don't like we said the other day. I don't mind having different rules for different levels of the sport. If it's completely arbitrary, like let's just take the touchback thing. If the touchback crosses the goal line, or targeting is another really good one. It's like that's where I'd like to see some uniformity, just from a fan standpoint. Hey, when you have this type of hit in football, it means you get ejected from the game, or it means you don't get ejected from the game. That's where I would like to see some of the same. In terms of like getting ready for the next level, I don't know, man. When you're starting to talk about offenses and you got to learn plays like speed break Detroit right side 300 box Y stick H through 54X slush, like you can learn the different rules for the next level.
For sure.
Only 1% of the guys are going and making it to that level. So I don't feel bad that's like, oh, now I have to get 2 feet down rather than 1 foot. It's just from a fan's perspective, I'd like to know, like when you're watching a game, if you're saying like, hey, I'm watching football, I would like for all of the rules to be same all the time. I guess I could understand that, but I don't mind.
Well, and I know, Blade, I think you're on the other side of it. Can I say something before I forget it? Last night I learned something that Jimmy Dykes told me that I never knew. Do you know that the balls are different sizes in college basketball? Not only are they different brands, they can be different sizes. They can either be 29, centimeters in circumference, whatever it is, or 31. Like you don't play with the same size ball. How wild is that?
I didn't know that. I mean, obviously, the three-point line is what you were talking about the other day. Like, I don't mind the three-point line being the furthest from the goal in the professional league. Like, you're at the professional level. But you said you'd like the three-point line to be the same for every league of football?
I mean, look, I don't want everything to be the same, obviously, but most when it comes to football and the on-field stuff, I'd want it to be the same. When it comes to a receiver, no matter if you're the 1% or not, it does do a lot naturally when you're catching a pass, whether or not you need to get 1 foot or 2 feet in bounds. So if the highest league I'm trying to get to, you have to get 2 feet. I don't care if I'm in middle school or high school. I want to practice that as much as I can and early as I can so it becomes natural. I know these guys are super athletes and this and that, but that's fine. But if I'm a DB and I want to go play in the NFL, I want to get taught the right things in college that give me the best to prepare myself to go to the NFL if I can't touch a guy for a certain amount of yards. I want to be able to replicate that in college. It's a lot easier for me to do that in the NFL.
Well, then get 2 feet down. Then catch and get 2 feet down. Like if I'm paying you $15 million, your ass can't figure out how to get another foot in bounds, then we got bigger problems. Like, again, it's just, I think you start saying that, then why don't 8 and 9-year-olds play on 300-foot fields? Like, are we going to get to that point? I know that's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know that's not what you're saying. But, like, at some point, if I'm paying you this money and all you're going to do is football all day, like, there's no more school, like, you're just at the facility all day and you can throw all day and it's football all year round. I mean, let's get 2 feet in bounds. Like, I don't think we change everything.
The good thing about that, I'm going to do that because that was what I got taught in high school and in college.
Well, then just
good thing.
Then just do it.
You're going to get your $15 million worth.
Then just do it. That's that's where we disagree.
You going for 15 milli these days? Franchise tag?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Shoot, Marvin.
All right.
Marvin making. There ain't no telling what Marvin Harris.
We'll see. Appreciate it, Alec.
Alec, thanks so much, my friend.
Man.
Enjoy that Casey's.
All right, let's go to Andrew in West Virginia. Andrew, talk to us.
Yes.
What's up, Crane & Co.?
What's up, Drew?
Andrew, what's up?
What's up? Also, I got a quick statement because I remember the last time I called him earlier in the show, you were talking about Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Speaking of Texas A&M, I actually met their head coach, Mike Elko, back when he coached at Duke. A lot of Duke fans are upset about Coach Elko leaving, but I'm just wishing him all the best. And plus, only problem is that he didn't beat Carolina while he was there, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, can you really blame a guy in football from going from Duke to Texas A&M? This isn't basketball. Like, if he did in basketball, I'd be like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. But in football, it makes all the sense in the world.
Oh, yeah, and also my question for today. So for David Cohn, thoughts on, now that Harbaugh's won it all, what are your thoughts on him going to the Chargers?
Look, congratulations to him. I know he wants to win a Super Bowl badly. And, if he hadn't won the championship, it'd be a little bit bittersweet. Like, okay, 3 straight conference championships, but we never climbed the mountain. Now that he went 15-0 and really, I think, had the greatest season in the history of the program, I said, man, I'll help him pack. If that's what it took, I would make that trade.
Now, $250 and a handshake to Jim Harbaugh. Thanks for the memories, buddy.
And what a great opportunity, too. Like, how often do we see a job come open that has a franchise quarterback in his prime, under contract? They got left tackles. They got an edge rusher, all these key pieces that comes open where they don't, they just need a little bit of cultural change, a little bit of structure added there. And I think the Chargers can be really good. Yeah,
Hansel's so hot right now. Hansel.
Oh, yeah, my question's for Blaine, and I have 2 questions for you, Jake and Blaine. There are 2 teams in college basketball that only have 1 win on the season. Can you guess those 2 teams?
Mississippi Valley State,
Detroit,
and
Mercy?
No, it's Mississippi Valley State, and it is Detroit Mercy.
That's what I say. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. I can understand. I mean, for Mississippi Valley State's an HBCU, and I know like HBCUs are severely underfunded and all this other stuff, but come on, you cannot be this bad every year in and year out. And you know what's the funny thing about that school? That
Go
was
ahead.
Jerry Rice's alma mater.
Yep. Hey, where's all the white people there? DEI. Like what? It's DEI.
Yeah, and then there's my question for Dick. Oh yeah, since we got in the MLB, who do y'all got winning it this year? The reigning champions are the Texas Rangers. Will there be another team that wins it all? All that hasn't won it before?
You know what? I'm not jinxing the Braves, so I'm not even gonna say the Braves. I hope that's what happens.
Say the Phillies.
No, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Orioles.
Yeah.
Give me the Orioles. I've watched the Orioles suck for so long, watching what they did last year. And if you look, they're just like pumping out a factory of curly-headed white guys right now. They're just balling. So give me the Orioles.
And then let's see for which reminds me. Sorry. As for my question for Blaine, let me see. I'm trying to think of my question for Blaine.
I know there's a lot of them.
Way, you know what else? You know what else needs to get off my lawn? The fact that they're trying to change the rules in college football to make it more like the NFL. Like, if I wanted to watch the NFL, I'd watch the NFL.
That's my whole point.
I mean, I know
that's my whole point.
The reason they're putting in.
Yeah, if I want to eat cookies, I'll go eat cookies. Don't give me cupcakes and say they're cookies.
Andrew, do you watch the NFL?
Yeah. I do watch it in case but my most time is usually during the playoffs. I don't just watch. I'm not like one of those Cowboys fans that just watches the Super Bowl every year. I always watch playoff time and stuff because it's usually when most drama happens during the playoffs.
Yep. Respect, Andrew.
And
go ahead.
They're planning on probably expanding it to 18 games. I mean, it's okay, but it's like at least it's an even game, but an even amount of games each year. But
yeah.
And I know part of the reason people are defending the whole 2-minute warning thing in college mainly because they got rid of the clock stopping after first downs, but it still sucks though. It's still too close to the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, Andrew. But thanks so much for the call.
Great call, Andrew. Good day, bud.
All right, let's go to Josh in North Carolina.
Here we go. Been waiting on this one.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. Nobody gets CNN more than me and Blaine Crane.
Here we go, Josh.
It's an everyday occurrence.
How has this come full circle where you and Blaine are on the same side now? How is that? That's scary to me. This is how like the anti-Justice League gets started. This is like how all of a sudden, why are Harvey Dent and the Joker teaming up and Thanos just pulled in. So Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like Jake and Dave are just like the NCAA, man. That's what they are.
They really are.
That's what they are, dude.
Just like
they sit up in their ivory towers, eating their finger foods, trying to make decisions for other people.
Well, the real question is, how much has Josh been panicking this week as Tennessee plays at South Carolina and North Carolina goes to Duke this Saturday?
Wow.
Oh, I'm not even panicking. And by the way, I'm going to Vegas on Thursday, tomorrow, for the first time. And then I come back from Vegas, and betting's going to be legal in North Carolina. I think I'm in heaven.
What a week. All you need now is a Casey's.
Casey's
are you going to – what are you going to play, blackjack?
Some blackjack luck. I'm going to play some blackjack. Yeah.
Hey, we're going to walk in. We're going to put 100 on black, Coach. All right, that's what we're going to do.
We're going to do Black 23. I'm putting $20 on Black 23.
We're going to put $20 on Black 23. Then we're going to put 100 on Black, Coach.
God, I'm shocked. I'm shocked a North Carolina fan's going to put money on 23.
Where are you staying, Josh?
What's up?
Where are you staying out there?
We got a hotel right off of Fremont Street. So
nice.
It's going to be a whole situation where you walk out on the street and you're wondering why a guy has underwear on, and then you're also wondering is that like Jennifer Aniston over there?
Well, yeah, it's like
or somewhere in the corner.
It's like Las Vegas. It's like you walk out and you're like, why is there a guy in his underwear running around out here, and why is that also the...
Well, Josh, remember, man, make sure to take a picture while you're out there. If not, Jake and Dave will come up with some colluding story about what you're actually...
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Why am I getting...
Wait.
Josh, remember to send that in.
What is going on?
I want to make sure that we got your back and they don't try to do...
This is insane.
Coming from the two guys...
You're welcome,
him and Josh, that said I was at some gay men's choir event.
They said that.
When I was clearly... up out in on Kona.
He's like, where was I?
I still haven't seen any pictures, Jay.
I haven't seen anything.
Go to Facebook. Look at my wife's Facebook. I'm literally, me and a dolphin are eating a bowl of cereal.
Swimming with dolphins, a.k.a. he's bopping back in Carolina's dress room.
Jeez, Josh. Good luck this week or not.
See you guys.
Oh, see you, man. All right, everybody else on the line, y'all call in tomorrow, please.
God. All right, I'm going to get to bets before I get accused of trying to take out Jack
Way
Ryan.
to get those calls in, people.
Oh, I can't feel my legs. All right. 1-1 last night. Ole Miss and Georgia. What's happened to Ole Miss basketball? Alan Flanagan. Bet you're happy you transferred now, buddy.
Alan Flanagan hit that guy. It's been done.
Not an ambi turner. Can't go right. All right, tonight, Tennessee, South Carolina. Defensive fest. Please God. Under 140.5? Maybe. Takers? Maybe. -8, 118. We'll see. And then UConn and Marquette. Look, I know Tyler Kolek isn't playing because he's got an oblique injury. Did you see that thing that came out that somebody put out a false report that Tyler Kolek, the point guard for Marquette, was gonna be ineligible the rest of the season because he couldn't read?
Because he can't read?
Because he failed his classes because he couldn't read.
He can read defenses.
Yeah, that's all I care about. So does Duke.
Oh, it was just so random because so many people believed it. They're like, oh my God, y'all, Tyler Kolek legit can't read.
I heard it's a gay love triangle.
What? Anyways, I'm going to take UConn Marquette over 151.5. 5.5. What do you got, David?
How about I'll take South Carolina at home plus 5.5, minus 110, and then Kentucky hosting Vanderbilt minus 17.5, minus 110.
0-2 yesterday, but God, what a beautiful way.
If you're going to go 0-2, buddy, you've
taking Bama money line, they're getting routed by 30, then taking Missouri plus 11.5 and Auburn routed by 30. I'll take it today. I'm rolling with David Cohn's favorite. Give me Tennessee minus 5.5. It's going off minus 112. I'm going with UConn minus 5.5. I believe the last time they played Marquette, they are what the us.
Oh, awesome. We're burning there. All right. I'm bet buds with Ace. You like that, David? That hit the funny button right there, huh? Ace, we're bet buds. UConn Marquette over 151.5. Then, speaking of Sister Jean, she built the pyramids. Loyola Chicago money line.
Yeah.
Minus 112. We love Sister Jean here, by the way. Wish her nothing but health, happiness, and all that other stuff. All right.
She built the pyramids.
Well, help.
That'd be crazy to find out. All right, let's get some donations here. $2 donation from the King Darth Dave.
Darth Dave?
The King Darth Dave.
It's impressive.
That NFL hashes with the field goal are easier than college, if y'all didn't know.
Well, with the field goal, yeah, to me, look, at the end of the day, the hashes are different in the NFL, and that's a big deal. I would say from the field goal standpoint, obviously the extra points further back in the NFL than it is in college. To be honest with you, I think the ball in the NFL is better to kick. I need to ask my buddy Adam Tanalski that. I'm actually going to call him today. I need to talk to him about something anyway. But, yeah, look, you make a good point.
Let's go to Thistlemore Pottery with the $5 donation. Cereals most definitely not mid.
Thank you.
Honey Nut Cheerios or Honey Nut Oat Clusters.
Ooh,
for the win.
Okay, what's
that
our
just
thoughts?
Sounds ass.
What's our thoughts on Reese's Puffs? Reese's Puffs.
I'll eat them.
I'll eat them. That's the best. If there is a good one, that's the best one.
Hold. What? This dude is so fake.
Golly,
Dr. Yeah, all of a sudden, hold on, cereal's bad, but you're just a big Reese's Puffs guy.
Cereal's mid.
That'd be like communism's bad, but I'm a big Fidel Castro guy.
The best cereal is Reese's Puffs, which is still mid.
Good to know you're pro Cocoa Pebbles over Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. Sure. I like.
Why is that good to know?
Because I like, I sit this close to someone who has rational thoughts like that.
Yes.
NCAA.
Have you had Captain Crunch, Blaine?
Here's the thing. I will say, if there's one cereal that I think is vastly overrated by itself, it's Rice Krispies.
It's overrated?
Overrated. Not a fan.
Yeah, I've had Captain Crunch. Let's go to a $5 donation from the one and only Chase Mills. Chase, what's up? Can't call in today, but let me put the most unpopular of unpopular opinions out there. Fruity Pebbles is a trash cereal. Cheerios are far superior.
Frosted Cheerios?
Honey Nut Cheerios. I can't have Cheerios straight up. Now you're just basically eating wheat. I will say another one. God, I just had it in my head. Another Lucky Charms. Thoughts?
Good cereal.
Good cereal.
There's a top 5 list. Go up there.
You know what? We need to do a top 5 cereal. Maybe Friday we'll do a top.
Let's do a top 5 cereal list.
I'll do a top 5 cereal list. I know that's be Ron DeSantis holding up that poop.
No,
we can follow it up right after it's.
It's all of them. Just see Ron DeSantis like poop. They're pooping in the street and in your cereal. All right, let's go to Hosa Taco with a $5 donation.
It's Hosa Taco.
Hosa Taco?
Yeah.
How's that spelled?
HOSE space A space taco. Okay.
I was just checking because at one time
you like to come?
You were like, yeah, we got a comment from Debut, and it's like, how do you spell it? It's like DE.
Oh, you see what happens when it's not.
I was like, debut.
Yeah. See, yeah, it's here, Blaine, keep up with 4 chats and stay on top. You better not mess up.
Blaine's like a wind talker for like a dab.
All right, Hosa Taco, $5 donation. Video game players wanted MLB The Show video game to fix franchise mode. What they got was profession MLB women players.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hitting homers in the 2024
Did you see
game.
that? You can do that. You can make like the players women in MLB The Show. To me, have you ever heard of softball? Like, make a softball game. If you're going to do that, just make a softball game, which, to be honest with you, I may play a women's college softball game, like video game, for being honest.
Get out.
No, I really would. I probably really would. Over some of the other ones, right?
Like what?
Like the ones that you play with all your weird-ass friends. Hey, man, let's build a fort and just run around and collect sticks and shoot each other with these medieval guns and run around in clans. Rather do that. There's like a new game every week. He's like, hey, guess what? It's basically
Dave, what did I do, dude?
I'm just saying. You guys are like, it's like that stuff.
What did I do?
Blaine, would you please use Extinguishing Sword for 200 experience points?
I did play Smite last night.
See? Smite?
The game's called Smite.
Smite?
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to figure out my 401k.
I can't defend you when you play a game.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You can at least say I played Rocket League.
Look, I'm running out of
David's
stuff
like,
to
I'm
play.
playing Sims, real life.
All right, let's go to $10 donation from Qsmo. What's up? He says, does Florida's program needed any more hardships with their coaching situation and their schedule alone? Now you have their GOAT player telling the players to boycott their own program under the false pretense. SMH. Shaking my head.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Let's go to the last one of the day. $5 donation from Humping Badger. He seems got out again.
Ooh.
Pitt basketball looked great last night. They're fun to watch in David Cohn's basement last night while I was drinking his chocolate milk from the gallon.
Don't listen to him. He never had my chocolate milk. He's in the basement. I give him access to watch Pitt basketball once a week.
Shout out Jeff Capel. Don't think I didn't know. I'm so ready for the tournament. Oh my God.
All right, let's get to the poll.
Get to the poll.
Will Tennessee be a number 1 seed?
Yes.
Sí, senor.
75%.
Not that much. 74.
Yes, 54%.
54%.
Wow.
How many South Carolina fans just ducked in here?
South Carolina fans in
That's
there.
the real question. All right, we appreciate y'all. Great phone calls today. Got them from everywhere. Glad to see y'all know what y'all are talking about when it comes to
Helldivers 2 is only on Xbox, on PlayStation, man. I can't play it.
What is it?
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2?
Yeah, look
This reminds me
make fun of that game.
Boy. Yeah,
Make fun of that game.
Grandma's Boy.
Trying to save the world.
Smite.
Now that
We
game.
appreciate y'all. Shout out to Factor, our new sponsor as well. Fume. Go check out all our sponsors. They do great work. Grab some of our merch too. And like the college basketball regular season, we're going. Oh.
Good.
Woo! Gone. That may be the best one ever.
That was
That one touched the ceiling.